And we're live. Good morning, and welcome to On the Spot 947, where we sit down. We have a little tete-a-tete with some of the biggest and talented names in the arts, and equally those who are on their artistic journey in the hopes of influencing and changing the world. Yes, kids, you can do that. Now, it looks like we started the month right because we have another awesome musical guest this time around who is more closely associated with local R&B and B and the hip-hop scene. Now, he's popularly associated with his collaboration with Sam Concepcion and Tito Santos in 2013 for the song Dati, which won the grand prize at the second Philippine Popular Music Festival, or better known as Philpop. Now, he has also collaborated with other artists like Clara Benin for the song No Greater Love, which is part of our playlist here in Mellow and one that I always enjoy playing. And another artist that he's also worked with is Keiko Necesario for Una Hakbang, Kiana Valenciano for Permanente, and Julianne for the song Digmaan. But for today, he is flying solo for us as he's here to talk about his new single, his success, his creative process. It is my honor and my pleasure to welcome Quest to the show. Let's bring him in. Oh, God, yes. Good morning,
Good
Quest.
morning, guys.
Welcome to On the Spot 947. So glad to have you here.
Salamat. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy that amidst the pandemic, we can still connect with each other. So thank you for having me.
Welcome, welcome. Music never stops, regardless if it's a pandemic or regardless if it's King Kong walking outside your house or Godzilla for that matter, and they're fighting off one another. Yeah, the music never stops. But let me start off with the importance of, let's say, an artist's name. A lot of artists out there have adopted names for themselves, like Neo. His real name is Shaffer Smith. The Weeknd, Alicia Keys, whose real name is Alicia Cook. There's Lana Del Rey. There's Drake, Erica Badu, Bruno Mars, and a whole lot more. How important is it to have an artist name, or why do you think some choose to have one instead of opting for their real name?
Maybe because the vision is too big for the person to carry. Like for someone like me, Quest is not really an artist name, though it is my artist name, but it's not really an artist name. It's a vision. My
Mm-hmm.
idea as an artist is I want to take people on a journey. I want to take people on a quest. When they listen to my music, I take them from darkness to light, sorrow to joy, confusion to clarity. You know, so these are the things that I think about every time I make music. I want to take people on a journey. And that's why I got the name Quest. More than anything else, it's not really my name, but it's what I stand for. So
Okay. I will not mention your real name if you don't want me to, of course, because people can always Google that. And that answers my question about my next question. How did you come up with the name Quest? Because that is what you want listeners to have. Do you think it's a subliminal signal to your brain as a person that when you use, let's say, an artist name, it's like throwing on a light switch somewhere in your head that you become that person or the persona you wish to project and not the person who can just, veg out on the sofa, eating junk food and binging on shows and just being a regular person?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I
And
lost you for a few seconds.
oh, okay, okay. Now, my question is, do you think that it's a subliminal signal to your brain as a person when you adopt an artist name? Because it's like throwing a light switch somewhere in your head that when it is on, that when you are called by that name, you become that persona that you want to project to people instead of being a normal person who can just sit all day in the front of the sofa watching Netflix and just eating junk food, like me.
I think maybe it's different. Maybe it's different for me because, um, you know, in it on and off stage, I stand by it. I want to be able to, you know, uh, even in the littlest things, I want to be able to inspire people beyond music. Um, I have interactions with the people that listen to my music. My fans, but I don't want to call them fans because they play a crucial role. So I call them my team. So if you're a fan, don't consider yourself a fan. You're a team. We're a team. So
I
team
like
tayo.
that.
So
I like
that's
that.
why I call my fan base Team Quest because we're a team. So
Nice,
I want
nice.
to be able to go beyond just making music and going up on stage, and I want to be able to uh, as much as possible kung walang switch, stay there. And
Yeah.
even if I'm Jose, even if I'm at home and I'm Jose,
Right,
You know,
right.
as much as possible, I want to be able to, do something good and be an inspiration.
And
So
just embody that. And
yeah,
because your name is synonymous with journey or a voyage that is consciously undertaken, has music always been the goal, or was it something that you discovered?
I discovered it. I had no clue music was, my why. I didn't know music was my first things first. Late bloomer. Actually, a lot of people know that I'm a late bloomer. I started taking this seriously when I was like 24, 25. And then I released my first album at the age of 28. It's been what, 10, 11 years? I'm
That,
39. And
that's still early for most people who want to cut an album or even a single. So 28 is still, yeah, it's still
yeah,
early.
but if you look at the environment now, it's like people jump in and do albums
Yeah,
at the age of 18, 19, 20.
right,
You
right.
know, when I was
It's
28, it was what, Glock's fifth album, and I released my first album. So parang, I felt like, but I didn't consider it naman a late bloomer or feeling ko sakto lang naman. I felt like I needed to learn so much in life so I would
right,
be able to
right.
sustain the career that I have right now. I mean, it's a very vicious industry that we live in. As much as I hate to admit it, it's really tough. It's really tough. The ins and outs of this industry. So I'm just happy that I started exactly that
At the
time.
right time, yeah.
Yeah,
I believe that there are no accidents, and you're really meant to start on that day or on that age that you
true.
were. So that's really how it was. How should we say, designated for you?
Yeah.
Would you remember that at a young age? How music spoke to you. That was there a particular artist that made you think, or a particular song that made you think that, hey, that sounds good. It looks like I can do that too, or I
Now,
can take
with
a crack at it.
young age, not really, but when I was young, I was captivated by Francis M and Gary V. So Gary V's Faces of Love is one of the first albums that I've listened to from
Yeah,
start to
yeah,
finish.
yeah, yeah,
And Look in Her Eyes is still my all one of my all time favorite songs. So, music when I was a kid, when I was young, music was more of like an escape for me. With every with I feel like every time I play music, it just puts me on a beautiful state. And then after I play music, I'm back to reality. So
yeah.
that's how it is for me growing up. Not there's nothing. I really never had an idea na music pala talaga yung para sa akin. But
Mhm.
I'm just fortunate that looking back, music was there. Music has always been there. Until that day that I realized that I think I want to do this. I think I'm called to do this.
Apart from Francis M and Gary, who were the other artists that you were listening to, like local and foreign? And
Growing up, man, it's kind of weird because I'm hip hop R&B now, but I Guns N' Roses, Stone Temple Pilots, Dave
layo ah.
Matthews Band, layo talaga. And then E-Heads, Maya. Then I was introduced to Boyz II Men. Then I fell in love. When I was
Ah,
introduced to Boyz II Men and Brian McKnight, wow, I was floored. Like I fell in love right away. So yun. Pero growing up, walang R&B, puro
walang
puro
R&B.
Stone Temple, Pearl Jam,
Right.
Guns N'
What
Roses.
what the music that your parents used to listen to? Because sometimes it's like it. It's either we get influenced by the music that our parents listen to, or if not, maybe our siblings, and then we kind of like find our way, somewhere in the middle.
I never really got the chance to discover what my parents were listening, the music they were listening to. Um, but kasi growing up in poverty, I really don't have that much access to music when I was a kid.
Okay.
I
All
would
right.
always have to wait weekends. I would go to my auntie's house and I would, listen to Gary V's Faces of Love. It's my cousin's cassette tape, and I will wait for them to sleep, and I would sit
Yeah,
beside the,
cassette tapes.
diba? I will sit beside the cassette tape, and I would listen from start to finish. And then after that, okay, balik matutulog na ako. So when I was a kid, I never really had instant access to music, only through my relatives. So I never got the chance to discover what my parents love. My grandmother, though, she loves Pat Boone. My grandmother
Oh,
loves like Frank Sinatra. So, yun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Can never go wrong with the classics.
Yeah.
I'm sure growing up too, you also felt that, or maybe while you're on your process of discovering music, and what it can give you, you probably also felt like you had to be a sponge of sorts, like taking in and absorbing every kind of music that you can get your hands on. Would you remember when was it or how was it that when you transformed from being a listener and a fan to a songwriter? Because I'm sure that's probably a surprise as well for a lot of people who discover things. It's like, wow, nagawa ko to, kaya ko pala to. So do you still remember the very first song you ever wrote?
Yeah, the first song I ever wrote, so ugly, so bad. I don't even want God to hear it. Like, you know, um, yeah, my biggest songwriting influence was Tupac. When I heard Life Goes On and Changes, I was like,
Mhm.
this guy. First love ko talaga rap more than if you ask me now, papipiliin mo ako, I choose rap over singing.
Talaga.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, it
Uh,
was Tupac at around 1999,
uh-huh.
2000. Then when I started, I want to try this writing thing. I want to start writing rap, you know. But my manager during that time, but before he was just my good friend. Now he's my manager. Before, because he's a hip hop producer, he's like, bro, you can sing, so just sing. So he wanted me to be a hook singer for all his rappers. So that was my starting gig. I was a hook singer for rappers until I started to evolve, and I want to start writing verses. I want to start writing, and then I just repetition, and consistency was the key, for me to be able to do what I do now.
That sounds so great. To chronicle your journey like that, it's very inspiring. I'm sure for a lot of people who get to listen to us now and who are listening and who are probably wondering, okay, I think I want to try this out. Ano kaya ang pwede kong gawin to try it and all that. But I'll get into those questions later on. When we wrap up. But being, as I said, being like a sponge, I would take it that it's also a challenge, if not part of the work process, to not just rely on one source of inspiration for your raw material. So where do you usually find inspiration from? And if, let's say, you find that this one source is not working for you, where else do you look for it?
I'm always aware with a lot of things. I like listening to people's stories. I like conversations with my friends. I like stories. I like understanding how I feel. I'm quite a sponge to most of my friends. Like if they have problems, they speak to me, and I'm like, hey, in my head, this is a nice song. you know,
Mhm.
you know. And I like reading different
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Sobrang importante na nagbabasa ka din. You know,
Who's your favorite? I want to backtrack a bit before I ask you about who's your favorite author or favorite book. Who you said that Tupac changed you and made you get into rap. But apart from Tupac, who would be the one artist that you would like to listen to over and over again that you don't mind listening over and over again? Which would
Before it was Talib Kweli. Talib Kweli and Mos Def are two of my favorites in common. These three,
yeah, common.
artists are in the top tier in my book. But now
Mhm.
I'm just into so much J Cole. J Cole has been just consistently putting out fire after fire after fire. So but before Talib, Talib, Common, and Mos Def.
So for me naman, oddly, I don't know why, but Ludacris speaks to me.
Ludacris is so playful. Ludacris
Luda.
kind of changed the game.
Yeah.
He changed the game with wordplay. He changed the game with his wit. He is so witty. Like
Yeah.
Cadillac rules, Cadillac. Check out. So okay si Ludacris, sobrang innovative din niya.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why, but for him, I'd rather be listening to him than, sorry, Jay Z. uh, but yeah, I guess kanya-kanyang ano. It will always
Yeah,
be each and everyone's style and whatever it is that speaks to you. I was wondering what comes first to you when you write a song. Would the melody first or the lyrics first?
wala siyang sistema. Minsan lyrics, minsan melody. Minsan I would hear I would hear an intro from a song on the
Mm-hmm.
radio, and I'm like, I like that intro. And the only thing I listened to was the intro. Like, I like that intro. And then build from that. Like minsan ganon. I wish I could spontaneously write a song like impromptu, playing the keyboards. That's a dream of mine. But depende minsan depende sa mood, depende sa situation. Minsan sulat muna ng letra, minsan may melody na, minsan melody din letra.
Yeah.
So iba-iba.
Right. One of the songs that of yours that resonated with me from last year was entitled "Tuloy Tuloy." To say that last year, when the pandemic dropped, it was the most debilitating time for anyone's life so far. Did you write the song in order to get through the pandemic, or was that written before, or how was that? Did you
I
write
wrote that around 2017,
Okay.
and I never got to finish it. Like I don't know why. And then the pandemic happened, and then I was browsing through my hard drive looking for, like, I didn't know what to do that day, so I was browsing through my hard, like, tuloy tuloy. Oh, I remember this. Played it, like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this song. So when I heard it, like, I want to do this. I want to do this. So it was around August when I heard it. August, and then I finished it before the year ended. Um, before the year ended, we released it, and then, oh, is everything okay?
Yeah. I'm listening. Is it because I wasn't moving? Oh, I think I lost you for a bit. Uh-oh. Okay, just log on, Quest. Log back in. All right, so just in case, guys, you're joining us now, we are talking to Quest, and he has a new song out, and we are asking him about his songwriting process and the things that I've discovered along the way, and how music has changed him, and why he adopted the name Quest as his artist name. And as you've heard, it's not exactly an artist name, but it's the one thing that he wants listeners to do, and that is to undergo a journey or a quest with him. That's why that's the chosen name that he got. All right. He did say that his name was Jose, so I'm leaving it at that. I'm not going to give away his real name if in case he doesn't want to. But you all can Google that. So it's pretty easy. Okay. I'm just waiting for him to come back on so I can continue our interview. Okay. You all can stream this, of course, on our Facebook page, mellow947.fm. And once the interview is done, it will be migrated to our YouTube channel. Okay. And if you have not followed us on our YouTube channel, we are there. And that's where all our past interviews for On the Spot 947, and as well as for Celebrity Stopper, they can be found there. And if you want to relive some of those interviews, then yes, that is where it is going to be. Okay, Quest, do log back in because we need you. Okay, just waiting for Quest to come back on, and we shall continue the interview. Okay. So as I said, you can listen to us online, www.mellow947.fm, and
Sarap ng tulog mo eh. O, wala namang makaalam nun. Pero pag tayo, ha? What? Ay, sorry. Nakaganon naman ako, diba? Sorry.
it looks like we got cut off, so it looks like I may have to come back on again. and stitch the two together. Okay, either that or I'll just wait for him.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, we are back.
Ah,
I
don't know what happened there, but
I don't know, but glad to have you back. So wait, where was I? My train of thought.
where were we? Where were we?
Where are we? Okay. Yeah, I was telling everyone about your song. We were asking you about the song Tuloy Tuloy that you wrote it actually in 2017, but you got
Yeah.
back on and finished it in 2020. Uh, buti na lang, you have a very big memory for your hard drive. I think kailangan yan if you're a if you're a songwriter, hindi pa pwedeng wala.
So,
Baka kung kaya ata dapat 10 terabytes eh. So,
ano na ako? Tatlong 1 terabyte. So, nakaka 4 na ako. 4 terabyte.
pwede na, pwede na. Konti na lang, konting usog para 5 na. Was it how easy or how difficult is it to get back into a song that you've stopped for a while? Because I'm sure for a lot of songwriters out there, when inspiration hits you, it can hit you at the most inopportune time. Nagmamaneo ka, nagluluto ka, you're in a conference call, you're shopping in the mall, and you know the speakers in the department store just blast something that resonates with you. So and you want to record it, but you're so busy, so you do a snippet and then you come back on. So how easy or hard is it for you to do that? Nabalikan yung song na hindi pa natapos.
I think it's important. Actually, it's important that once inspiration hits, you
Mm-hmm.
do something about it right away. You know, when I was doing Tuloy Tuloy, I was like, um, I don't know why I didn't finish it. I just felt like I didn't know if it was time to put it out. Like I have some songs that I've written some songs that I don't think I'll ever sing. Probably give it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, may mga kanta na I know I'm gonna sing it. There's some songs that nasa hard drive ko na sino kaya kakanta nito? Until now I'm thinking about it. Songs that I finished years ago. You know, that I still feel like someone else will sing this one day, but not me. So may mga ganun. At a certain point, I didn't know what to do with tuloy-tuloy. Para sa akin ba to? O para kung kanino man. And then the pandemic happened. That's when I realized, oh, this is the best time to write this. So hindi ako nahirapan kasi I was inspired, you know, with everything that's been happening around us during the pandemic. Parang, I'm gonna do this. I think it's time for me to do this. So
Good, good. It was also an opportune time that people needed to hear that, and you also needed to say it, and we're glad that you did. Glad that you did. Um, Earlier on, I also mentioned about collaborations that you had with different artists. Do those come to you easily, or like was there a process in order to make that collaboration happen?
It came in easily because almost all the people that I collaborated with are my friends.
Oh, okay.
So I'm good friends with all of them, almost all of them. So kaya napakadali ng proseso. Like, bro, may idea ako. Let's sit down. Okay, Clars, meron akong idea. Feeling ko perfect yung boses mo. Parinig. Like, ganun lang siya. Even with Reese and Kiko. So um, I have never worked with somebody that, I don't know yet. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
really excited for that. Like, the challenges we will have to go through to build something. I'm sure magka-clash kami. Um, but I've never been in that situation where I'm working with someone that I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to that. But so far, sa lahat ng mga na-collaborate ko, very organic, ang sarap lang sila katrabaho.
Good. That's awesome. Of course, the beauty of collaboration is that there are two minds at work, as opposed to you being the solo artist, where you carry most, if not all, of the burden. So, how a song resonates to you. How a song rather resonates or not to the public will be all on you if you're a solo artist. Would that be something that haunts you from time to time, and probably bring you worry whenever you release a song? Like, will they like it? Will they not? Will they, will it help them out, or things like that? Do you ever find yourself asking questions like that?
Before, but then I realized that at the end of the day, as long as one person hears my music and gets changed by it, I'm happy. I'm not really into that. How many people will like my music? As long as somebody
Mm.
likes my music, I'm gonna keep making music. That's it for me. Hanggat merong nakikinig, hanggat merong nagsasabi sa akin, hanggat merong nagko-comment na this is a beautiful song, keep making music. I'm gonna keep making music because that's my job. My job is not to save the world. My job is to make a difference, one person at a time. Maybe through my
One
music.
song at
So
a time, or one lyric
before,
at a
syempre, nakaka-pressure na parang, oy, si ganito, ang dami niyang listeners, si ganito. Tapos, ako ganito lang. And then I just came to a point na, oo nga, no, I need to focus on those who love my music and invest and nurture those who love my music. So,
time. Whether you're a singer or not, creative people will all go through this imposter syndrome. I got this from author Neil Gaiman, wherein you kind of like question your own output of your own creativity. Self-doubt questions like, what makes you think you can be a recording artist? What makes you think that you can be a writer? What makes you think you can be an awesome rapper? How do you get through days like that, when questions like that just pop into your head?
I think it's important that you surround yourself with the right people. Sobrang
Okay.
crucial talaga kung sino yung kasama mo. If I need to be surrounded with people who believe in me. I need to surround myself with people who will root for me more than anything else, because that is so true. There will be days that I'm gonna be bombarded with, man, am I still doing this? Are they still enjoying my music? Should I still be doing this? Like, there are days that I would think that way. But I have people surrounding me telling me, bro, keep doing what you're doing. You're blessing a lot of people. So parang ako, sobrang importante ng community mo. Pag yung community mo tinutulak ka to keep pushing, to keep going forward, blessing yun. Sobrang blessing yun.
And I guess that's also one of the things that the new artists these days need to look into, is that to build your own community, or to look for that community that you feel that you can belong and take strength from, wherever it is that you can. Now, back in the day, you were also the lead vocalist and music ministry director for Christian Church Victory at the Fort. So, can you talk a little bit about that musical experience that you had then, and what were the tasks that you had to perform being the music ministry director?
To be able to work in church, in a Christian church, um, sobrang laking responsibility nung binigay nila sa akin to be able to, oversee a ministry. When you've got 60 people, 30 singers and 30 musicians that you need to shepherd, that you need to take care of. But I
Mhm.
didn't do it alone. I'm sure I have a good team with me. I have a great team, and I keep saying this to my friends, find people who are better than you and stick with them. So that helped me so much with my leadership, with my decision making skills, my integrity. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still, learning life, but being part of that ministry helped me a lot as a human being, to value people, to value my yes and my no, to
Mhm.
always be on time. So these are character building for me. Kaya parang ako nga looking back,
I love that,
parang
to
some
always
people
be
would
on
say lately,
time. Nagustuhan ko yan, to always be on
yeah,
time. That's something that pwede ba ialis natin sa ating vocabulary that Filipino time is 30 minutes late, 1 hour late, 45 minutes late.
I remember my pastor telling me, if you come here on time, you're late. That's what my pastor tells us. If you come here, if our meeting's at 9 o'clock and you got here at 9 o'clock, you're late.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, cool. So, pag may meeting kami na 9 o'clock, 8:45 nandun na kami sa conference room. So, I learned a
Right.
lot. I learned a lot from that. Developed me as a man. Learn to listen to people. Learn to humble myself, and I owe a great deal, to that season of mine when I worked in church.
Did you think that what you did in church then was like a training ground for what you get to do today?
Yeah, a lot. So much of what happened during my time in church groomed me, and allowed me to still be here. Longevity is something that a lot of artists fight for. There's the one hit wonders, or I don't want to be that, and I want to be able to be consistent when I even when I'm old, to be able to make good music. May not be performed, but at least keep creating good music. So, napalaking tulong sa akin nung season ko na yon working in church, because my character was built.
Mhm.
My integrity was, solidified. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you also said something about being consistent. And when you do that and you provide for yourself a good catalog, it's also nice to look into that. Para, oh, in this year I did this. Oh, in this year I did less of that. So you can trace your progress from then, and from that alone you can validate your quest as it is. And yeah, that's the good old days. If we can only bring some of them back, will be great. But speaking of the good old days, that's exactly the title of your new song. And I'd like to play a clip for our listeners before we talk about it extensively. So you know that you can listen to this song wherever digital music is being streamed and sold. This is called "The Good Old Days," and listen up.
Take it back to the good old days where the sun shines and the children play. I know we can't take the pain away, but everything's gonna be okay. Bring it back to the good old times when we can be together, just you and I. But right now we break through the night. Yes, I know it's gonna be alright. Alright, lights were off, but we can still see that everything will be okay. We believe that, cause we had each other, that's all we needed. We was down and out, but we never defeated. See another day, we still breathing. Find another way, we keep building. Live another day, keep on keeping. We ain't leaving, we believe it. It's been a long time waiting. Just a little patience. We don't need to press rewind. Take it back to the good old days where the sun shines and the children play. I know we can't take the pain away, but everything's gonna be okay. Bring it back to the good old times when we can be together, just you and I. But right now we break through the night. Yes, I know we're gonna be alright, alright. Pakinggan ang sasabihin ko, madami ka dito nga anihin, oo. I know right now we're struggling, some might be stumbling, but we keep on hustling. Yes, reminisce the good old days as we press on. And if you fall, stand up and take the lesson. Grow through what you go through. The struggle is real, but I know you gon' pull through. The dark can be frightening, but we keep fighting. Find your
All
silver
right, so that's
lining.
just a sample of what the song is all about. It's all about the good old days. It's all about continuing the good that you do, and keep at it, regardless of what people are going through or telling you not to do. You just go at it. I love the positive message the song conveys. Can you give us a little bit of history about the song?
Um, a few months ago, that song, the chorus has been playing in my head. Take it back to the good old days, bring it back to the good old times. Pero hindi ko siya maharapan ng, hindi ko masimulan, hindi ko masimulan, parang, but it's on my phone, like I've been seeing it. So then Warner gave us the opportunity to work with international producers. So Warner starting this Glow PM campaign wherein they want to connect local Filipino artists to international Filipinos abroad. And I was fortunate enough to be paired with Kuya Productions. Kuya Productions is a big production duo from Canada. They are responsible for Alessia Cara's first album. They've
Nice.
done music for Christina Aguilera, Megan Trainor, you name it. They even done music for Mace and a lot of artists. So they're already there. They're right there. So I was chosen to work with them, and then when we met during the Zoom meeting, I was like, "Do you have beats that I can listen to?" So they sent me a folder full of beats. The first song I played was that. The choir, yeah. I was like, whoa. And ayoko na makinig ng ibang beats kasi baka malito ako, baka kasi feeling ko baka ang daming magaganda na mahirapan akong pumili. So, nung narinig ko yung beats, I go, Sammy, Bobby, I don't want to jump to the next track. Let's work on this track. I have a song in my head. And I said, take it back to the good old days. Bring it back to the good old times. And they're like, oh, we like that idea. So I started doing demos. And then lahat ng production namin, Zoom meetings lang. We would meet through Zoom. So, we would write together. So it's we co-wrote that song. And then after 3 Zoom meetings, we finished it. So,
awesome. Yeah, that's letting technology work for you. Speaking of technology, oh no, Quest, I think I lost you again. What is going on with this today? It's not even raining. Di pa naman umuulan na. Ano ba? Pag umuulan, saka mabagal ang signal. Dapat ganun. But while the sun is shining, the signal should be great. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah. So after 3 Zoom meetings, you finished the song. And,
we finished it, and then the rest is history.
Awesome. Great.
It was for me. It was a beautiful song because I said to them, I think everyone needs a message right now of hope. So that's where we were on the same page. Let's do that. So mas mabilis. And we finished so fast, we decided to work on 2 other songs. So basically, the next 2 singles I'm releasing this year will be also produced by them. So it's I'm so happy with the next 2 songs.
Great.
The next 2 singles are going to be so amazing.
We cannot wait for that. I saw the album artwork for Good Old Days. Alex sent it to me. There are like 4 pictures there. One would, I think, be obviously of you. One will be a Polaroid. These are like 4 Polaroids put together to make a collage. Can you tell us something about that artwork? I know what it's all about, but I want to hear it from you.
It's
Okay, internet. Looks like we really are going to be playing this game the entire morning. Shucks. Anyway, I'm going to be sharing that album cover as well on my Facebook page, so you guys can see what the album cover is all about. But I want to leave it to Quest to explain the album cover or the single cover for that for the song "Good Old Days." When you see it, you know what it's all about. It's just basically a collage of the things that we've been deprived with, the things that we've always been looking forward to doing because it's the basic thing to do. But because of what happened, we're not able to do that now. By what happened, I mean the pandemic. Okay. So we're just waiting for Quest to come back on. And the music, of course, continues on. on our site www.mellow947.fm. Okay, and you can also download the two apps that will let you bring Mellow to wherever it is that you're going, and that will be Simple Radio and the MyTuner Radio app that is good for iOS as well as for Android. Okay. All right. Now, if in case you do have a question for Quest and you want to try and get into the business, but you don't know how, probably he can answer some of the questions that you may have. So you can just type in your questions on the comment box, and I shall ask it of him when he comes back. Okay, when we resume the interview. All right. Okay, welcome back.
Internet, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, it's more fun in the Philippines. Totoo yan. Pag walang
So
ganyan,
anyway, you know, um, we're releasing 3 songs. I think I'm gonna be releasing an EP by the end of the year, and most of them are gonna be produced by Kuya Production. So
all right. Sige, balikan ko quickly before the internet acts up again. On the album, the single cover for Good Old Days, as I said, it's a collage of Polaroid shots. When people see it, they'll know what it's all about. But I want it to come from you.
I think it's a reminiscing. I put my baby picture because I miss the feeling of being a child. I miss the feeling of freedom. I miss the feeling of being carefree and not being worried about a lot of things. If you look at a child, they don't care. They have no care in the world. They just want to have fun. That's the first thing. And then the other photo is I took that from the airplane on my flight. I miss flying out. I miss traveling. I miss the normal,
Yes, I want to go
vacation.
back to the US.
I cannot wait to travel again. And then of course there's a photo of one of my shows. I miss live gigs. And then the last one is a photo of me with food. Like my friend took that photo. I miss being able to fellowship with people, to hang out with people. So pinakita ko lang doon sa apat na photos saying these are the good old days for me. I miss these days. These can be moments. These can be it can be a feeling, it can be a moment, but na-miss ko siya. Sobrang na-miss ko.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone misses that too. And we cannot wait for this whole nightmare to be over, and then we'll just wake up from a bad dream and says, okay, everything back to normal. Gigs are back, movies are back, concerts are back. Foreign artists can come into our shows and just collaborate with local artists, and nothing to worry about, and we don't have to be worried about even to the simplest act of eating at a restaurant. When you write, do you have a designated place to do that, or strike anywhere ka?
Strike anywhere.
Strike
anywhere.
Wait. Advice to aspiring rappers out there who would want a slice of the pie and to be in the industry?
Repetition. Just keep doing what you're doing. Act according to your dreams, not according to your age. Like, it's never too late for you.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Act
some people can say, act according to your dreams. If you have a dream, act it out, live it out. It doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you're breathing, it's still possible. So take me, for example, I didn't give up. I just kept going. I just kept doing what I'm doing, and now I am here. So repetition, and have a vision. Don't do this for clout because it's gonna be short term. Don't do this for fame. It's gonna be short term. It won't last. It won't take you far if you're doing this for fame. If you're doing this for money, I'm not saying don't, but don't make it your main thing. Do this. Have a vision. There's especially if you're a creative, you have something to share to the world. I keep saying that to a lot of artists. If you don't live out your dreams, you're depriving the world of experiencing something unique because only you can do it. Like that's how I believe it. Like, somebody would write a beautiful song that you alone can write. No one else can. You know, so if you don't do that, you're depriving us. Don't do that. I wanna hear magic from you. You know, so there.
All right. I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. Children, you better list these down. Social media accounts where they can follow you and bug you and ask you for advice.
Instagram at Join the Quest, Twitter at Official Quest, and on Facebook just type in Quest. You'll see me there.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Again, congrats, Quest, on the new song. I know that more great songs are going to be coming out from that wonderful space that you have there right behind you.
Salamat, salamat.
Work from home, and of course, not just work from home, but work from your heart. Thank you for joining us today. I wish you best with the single, all other musical creative endeavors that are in the pipeline, and continue to do what you do. And you know that you're going to touch a lot of people's lives the same way that you've been doing before, and you still continue doing even today. All right. This has been Kaz for On the Spot 947. Till the next edition, we shall be on the lookout for the next artist that we are going to be putting on the spot. So keep it right here. All hits, Mellow 94.7. Sounds good. Bye, Quest. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.